Coming up on the Wallingford Sports Show, we are live at Jack Burford Chevrolet. A big week and a big weekend in sports. Tiger Woods is back. Plus, the Kentucky guys that we thought would stay or go have made their decision. All that and more coming up right now on the Wallingford Sports Show.
This is a special sports presentation of the Wallingford Broadcasting Company.
Sports fans, it's time for the Wallingford Sports Show. The Wallingford Sports Show is served up by Buffalo Wild Wings and also brought to you in part by Jack Burford Chevrolet, the law office of Patrick O'Neill, King Brothers Used Cars, and Honchels. Now let's go live inside the Jack Burford Chevrolet studios discussing the hottest sports topics around. Here are your hosts, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
Live at Jack Burford Chevrolet here on the Wallingford Sports Show, served up by Buffalo Wild Wings and also brought to you by a host of other great sponsors, the law office of Patrick O'Neill, King Brothers Used Cars in Winchester, and Honchels over in the West Irvin Plaza. Samantha, it is a busy week for us. Of course, hoping to win. Lots of baseball games this week, some big games this week.
We'll get some in all week because the rain, the wind, everything.
The wind, too, this weekend. Yes. I mean, Lord have mercy.
It was rough. Coming back from Knoxville, my girls had a dance competition. And once we got into Somerset and up north, it was windy the whole way.
Now listen, you all see Samantha's hair. She actually fixed it this way. The wind did not do that. So
I know. As soon as I walked in today, he said, I don't care for your hair.
But you want me to be honest with you, right? And you said, well, John's gone on a trip, so I'm trying to try new things while he's gone.
I did not say that. Do you all see what I deal with? It's just absolutely.
And I told you I was in a bad mood, but I'm really not in a bad mood.
He did say that, and he goes, I'm in a really bad mood. And I'm like, I cannot help you. What? You want me to buy your lunch?
If you can sing that song.
Speaking of, whose turn is it to buy lunch?
Here we go. I want to go back and watch the replay of that show because I don't remember us agreeing to that.
Free lunch, me.
We'll go to Michael's house of barbecue, and I'll make you some ravioli. I can make pancakes in the microwave. Is that cool?
Your wife gave me an update on your food habits and how you're trying to eat healthier. We had a segment on eating healthier while we were at B-Dubs. They do offer a few things.
They do.
Their burgers are not, they're always fresh, not frozen anymore.
That's one of their new menu options.
They've got some tacos that are like 300 to 500 calories.
They've got the flatbread pizza over there. So they've got a really good, they got a better selection.
They do.
It's still a good place to go watch a ball game. And if you are looking to eat healthy, they've got options for you. The naked tenders, which is what you've been really enjoying the last few times over there.
I get them every time we go now on Mondays. But pretty exciting stuff this past weekend. It would have been a great place to have been at B-Dubs on Sunday watching the Masters.
Yeah, and you know, even for just a sports fan, I'm not a huge golf fan. I don't sit there and watch it all day long. But to watch the moment of Tiger Woods
it was
accomplishing and coming back and, you know, just so many different things that went into Tiger Woods winning the Masters yesterday. And they're calling it the Tiger Effect. CBS says that Tiger Woods' win at the Masters was the highest-rated morning golf broadcast in 34 years. Sunday's final round from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. drew a 7.7 TV rating.
I believe it.
Peaking at a 12.1 between 2:15 and 2:30. The encore presentation between 3 and 7 drew a 3.4 rating.
Right. Here's what I want to talk about. Even if you don't like golf or don't watch golf, the name of Tiger Woods and that he's back and that even if you're not a fan, I like Tiger Woods, but you know we've had many conversations about men and their cheating or their bad habits or politicians, whomever. I struggle with that, with their personal life. Now, should that affect their game and how I feel about them? Probably not. But I know what he has done to his wife and to his family, and I'm still a fan.
Yeah.
I'm still a fan of him. What he's doing and bringing back golf is incredible.
Everybody deserves a second chance. That's one thing that is thrown around a lot.
You say that.
Well, I guess it depends on what side of the fence you're on.
The redemption factor of it, the comeback of it all. I agree. I'm with you.
And, you know, golf is like Okay, in the NBA. The NBA is better when the Lakers and the Celtics and the Knicks are good. College basketball is better.
You left out the Warriors.
Well, no, but just the history, like the history of those franchises.
Of course, you added the Celtics.
College basketball is better when Kentucky and Duke and North Carolina and Kansas are in the Final Four. Right. Look at this year's Final Four. It was low ratings.
Yes.
Not too many people cared about who was in the championship game. If that had been Duke and Kentucky or Duke and Kansas,
would have been huge ratings.
The ratings would have been huge. So, to me,
hugely attended.
The NFL is better whenever you've got the Cowboys are good, and you've got the Eagles and the Steelers and the Patriots. Whenever you have those teams,
the Bears, because I'm still a Bears.
The history of the Bears, exactly.
Yeah.
So whenever you have those things coming into it, it makes the sport better. Tiger Woods is the Los Angeles Lakers of golf. He is the New York Yankees of golf. When he is there...
That A-Rod effect.
Exactly. When he is there, it just brings more people in.
Yeah.
And that proved to be the case yesterday once again. Everybody just coming together to watch Tiger Woods, even if he hadn't won.
Right.
The fact that he was in contention to win just brought people in to watch.
Absolutely. So now here's my question to you. Watching him come off after he just won the green jacket, and you're looking at him, and he looks as young as he always has when he's got his hat on. But then after he won and he took his hat off, and he's hugging his kids, he's hugging his mom. He took his hat off, and he's got hair loss.
Well, he's older.
Right, but my point is, with the hat on, he looks the same.
Yeah.
Now, here's. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's when you go, he's different.
Yeah.
He's different. So here's my
It kind of brings a human aspect to him a little bit. You know, that's Tiger with the hat on and the red shirt. That's Tiger.
That's a Sunday.
When he takes the hat off,
you're like, oh,
that's a human being right there.
He's in his 40s now. So here's my question to you. You know, all these, and I don't know if it's really a question. All these other guys, Molinari and Thomas, all those that were in contention, those guys are all younger. So their bodies are more physically fit, more active. They're not in their 40s. His mental state, being in his 40s, how much stronger is he mentally than obviously not physically? We always thought he'd probably come back and maybe win probably a major or some type of golf championship, but not the Masters.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
The mental aspect of him, and because they all saw him coming up, and when he got on 15 and he hit that shot, and everybody was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it was a cool scene seeing all these younger guys wait on him and kind of congratulate him.
They watched him.
They grew up. They're the reason, or he is the reason they're playing golf.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods is the reason for that. And
their love of golf. They're looking up to Tiger the way Tiger looked up to Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah.
And if you're over 30, you probably understand what we're talking about. I mean, it's difficult. If you're 30 to 50, you probably get it. But if you're younger, you probably don't remember the Tiger that we all saw, which you're not really there yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not really a huge golf fan, but just the fact that this moment happened, the way it happened, the redemption story that kind of goes into it with it, it drew some different interest for that reason alone. Now, you know, nowadays the big, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, is betting. You know, that's a big thing now because
betting on golf or just betting on sports
betting in general. Sports, because it's becoming legal in more states. It could eventually be legal in Kentucky.
It will be eventually here.
A bettor placed an $85,000, which would be nice to have, right? But he placed a wager, $85,000 on Tiger Woods to win the Masters at 14-1 odds. He will take home $1.19 million after Sunday's victory. It was It was the largest future payout from William Hills, which is the casino that he made the wager at. It was the largest future payout in the history of William Hills Casino. So that's a pretty big deal.
That is a huge deal. Yeah. Can you imagine today all of a sudden waking up going, I just bet on
first of all, $1.19 million is pretty good. $85,000 would be pretty cool to have.
We'd be happy just with that.
Yeah. So, but the fact that this guy was confident and going into the Masters, Tiger Woods at 14-1 odds, he was actually at plus 300 to win a major period this year. So if you made that wager, you bet $100 to win $300
Yes.
that he would win an actual major this year.
And
So
the fact that he's had spinal fusion back surgery.
I think some of the last 3 or 4
Crazy.
competitions that he was in or tournaments, he actually had to pull out because of injury because he's
did.
been injured quite a bit.
He
here
did.
recently.
He was like, I can't do it. I'm not physically able to do it. So the thought that he's now better and he's back, he's bringing the game of golf back. Now, if we can find us some NASCAR drivers that can bring NASCAR back, it's lost its viewership too.
Yeah.
So
Now, I know a lot of people that are around the world or around Kentucky at least that are big NASCAR fans. I think you have to just like racing in order to like NASCAR. Now.
I like the last 20 minutes. I
Yeah.
like the wrecks and I like the last 20
Well, that's
minutes.
good. You like
in
the
the
wrecks?
beginning. Yes, most people do. They like watching the replays of it and what happens. Listen, the safety aspects of NASCAR now, these guys generally don't get hurt. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
So it's crazy. But it is so exciting to wake up today. It is all in the news. I'm sure everybody's heard about Tiger Woods. I mean, if you cannot just watch ESPN and know about it. It's on CBS. It's on ABC. It is on every major news network that he has won. It's pretty exciting. And I think more people were rooting for him and cheering him on, whether you're a fan of Tiger or not.
And that kind of goes into it with, we talked about the younger guys that were waiting on him to congratulate him. I think had some other young guy or somebody, a no-name won the tournament, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal to those guys. They might have been even more upset that they lost. The fact that Tiger won the tournament, a guy that they grew up watching, a guy they grew up idolizing, then that is a pretty big deal. Now,
think about playing that final round with him, being one of those.
Well,
the 4.
Let's look at it this way. Let's say that who is somebody that you've always looked up to?
In a sports
just
aspect,
anything.
other than my parents, or
I mean, if me, okay, I'm a big Rajon Rondo fan, basically.
True.
If I was playing in a one-on-one,
anybody that's got his own hashtag, you got to be.
Exactly. So if
There's
I was
no hashtag Michael.
There could be. We could start that.
We're gonna start hashtag Michael.
But if I was playing in a basketball tournament and Rondo was playing in it as well, this is obviously just kind of a shot in the dark. But if he won and I didn't win, I wouldn't be upset about it because this is a guy I grew up watching. And wanting to be
and
like. So
and
that kind of goes into it with those young guys. They don't care as much that they lost because of who
they
won
lost
the
to
tournament.
him.
Yeah.
So it makes a big deal. And they're going to say, I played the final round when Tiger came back. I mean, I played in that round with him.
That's a story in itself.
Yeah, we were like right behind him or right in front of him. I guess he played last, so he was in the final.
It is Tiger's 81st PGA Tour win, his 15th major title, and his 5th green jacket. So a big deal for Tiger Woods and obviously a big deal for golf.
Yeah.
As now everybody is talking about
everybody's
golf
talking
today.
about it. And to see his – I only saw him hug one child. I don't know if both children were there.
Yeah.
See him hug his mom. They're saying it was so many years after his dad, when he hugged his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And what about Nike coming out with that video
as soon as it was over,
immediately following his win?
Yeah.
Like, that was some quick edits. Austin, can you do that? Can you get that, get our show up and out, right after we win this, hour?
We're going to win the hour?
We're going to win the hour.
Who are we competing with?
Everybody else on Facebook.
There's a lot of people out there on Facebook.
A lot of people on Facebook.
Keep this. I mean, whenever Nike released the commercial, it was kind of cool to see Tiger hugging his dad. I think it was 1997 when he won his first major, and to now him hugging his own son, and it was just the embrace. It's kind of cool to look at just how things have transpired.
Right.
And I saw that ESPN does those 30 for 30 programs. The ESPN 30 for 30. For which one?
When they did the one about UK playing Duke, and it was about what's his name, and I had on the
Christian
shirt.
Laettner?
Yeah, about Christian Laettner.
You were actually on the promo?
I was on the promo.
Wow.
Because I went to the UK Duke game in Rupp and wore I Still Hate Christian Laettner. And they interviewed me before the game. I didn't make it in the show, but I was in the promo.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well,
I have pictures to prove it. I'm going to prove it.
I believe you. We need to put them on Facebook. We'll show you. We need to get that proof for sure. But anyways, they tweeted out, how would you caption, they had like a picture of Tiger.
How would you caption this win?
The best one that I saw was, what if I told you, because that's how they start their promos, what if I told you, and somebody put on there that a tiger never loses its stripes or something like that. And I was like, that is by far the best one, yeah.
That was extremely clever. Well, and here's the other thing, going back to Nike. What about their ads are very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with the NFL player, what's his name?
Kaepernick.
I don't love him. But, yeah, they're very heart-wrenching, very gut thinking.
Yeah.
They're emotional.
Well, they're pulling at the. I think they're pulling at the right strings though, because Nike's kind of going away from just being.
Look at me! I got the best tennis shoes.
Yeah, they're kind of just going away from that. I think they need to. They need to kind of. Because
they
the
got
world's
some
changing.
competition with Adidas right now.
And
My kids
Under
don't want
Armour.
Nike. My kids want Adidas
See,
right
everybody,
now.
I know what's Under Armour. So I mean, Nike's got to find a way to. Nike's still the bigger name, but I think that Under Armour's kind of taking control of the clothing line and the shoes, and right now the big name is everybody wanting to go after Zion Williamson.
Yes.
And of course he was wearing Nikes when the Nike exploded.
Yes.
So we'll see who gets in.
We'll see what deal he gets when he gets in the
and
NBA.
how much. Sure, it'll be a big
and
bucks.
the other thing is, I mean, the video that Nike had, the little commercial that they did immediately following, it was crazy to show this video when Tiger was a child and him saying, yeah, I'm going to beat Jack Nicklaus' record someday. And he's very close to that.
I think now that he's kind of gotten his swagger back, that he'll get back into it. He'll probably break that record.
Can you imagine waking up today being Tiger Woods?
No.
Can you imagine waking up, or even like being? I'm not going to say his nanny, but because he married a nanny. Remember?
Oh gosh, what a day!
Then cheated.
A very
on her.
windy day.
I gotta wrap it up with that, because it's about his personal.
We mentioned Zion Williamson. I don't think he's came out to say that he is going pro yet.
He's not yet.
This week or last week we had Kentucky guys that we thought would come, go, stay, or whatever.
You want to do that?
Have made their decision. When we come back, we will dive into that and take a look at who we think.
Or who we know.
Who we know is coming back,
heart,
who we know is staying, and kind of what that means for Kentucky. We'll talk about that when we come back live at Jack Burford Chevrolet. Folks, thank you all for tuning in. This is the Wallingford Sports Show.
At King Brothers Used Cars in Winchester, you don't have to worry about the hassles of dealing with an aggressive salesman. They strive to make you feel comfortable and help you find the car you're looking for at the best price possible. Stop by today and get your key and drive off in a new-to-you vehicle from King Brothers Used Cars on West Lexington Avenue in Winchester. Or stop by their Facebook page for updates and their website, kingbrotherscars.com, to check out their inventory. King Brothers Used Cars, family-owned and time-tested since 1966.
Honchels in Irvin is your year-round stop for Carhartt, Izod, Lee jeans, and boots. Prepare yourself for hunting with a huge selection of Carhartt bibs, coats, and other hunting gear. Don't forget about the big selection of hunting and work boots from Wolverine, Justin, Rocky, and more. As always, Honchels carries all the latest in Kentucky and Estill Engineer apparel and Skechers and New Balance for the little ones. The same great staff, same great personalized service always at Honchels on the Richmond Road in Irvin.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Escape to sports with Buffalo Wild Wings. GM Tommy Martin invites you to come watch your favorite team play at Buffalo Wild Wings, the best game day atmosphere and happy hour in town. Menu items as low as $2 each weekday 2 to 7 and again 10 till close. Plus wing specials every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to ask your server about the Blazing Rewards program and see how you can earn free food. Buffalo Wild Wings, Richmond Center.
We've got Kinetic Blue. We've got Cajun Red. We've got Storm Blue Metallic. We've got Mosaic Black Metallic. We've got Summit White. What are we talking about? Jack Burford Chevrolet Equinoxes. You can get up to $8,000 off on select Chevy Equinox models. Check them out at jackburford.com and be sure to subscribe to our Jack Burford Chevrolet YouTube channel too.
Wild Wings in the Richmond Center. Stop by Buffalo Wild Wings and watch every kind of ball game. Right now, NBA playoffs are kind of the big deal right now. NHL playoffs.
Your Boston Celtics won.
They looked pretty good yesterday, too, Samantha.
I'm sure you loved it. It was on TNT, right?
Yeah, they did. And,
I was at a dance competition. I didn't get to watch, but I was checking out the Masters. So I was going, but I did not watch your Celtics.
Well, I'll tell you this. When when they play the way they did yesterday, we'll talk about the NBA players later on, but when they play the way they did yesterday, they're going to be very, very hard to beat. So let's talk about.
You know who I'm rooting for?
Well, don't tell me now.
Anyone
Tell us at the end.
Against the Celtics.
Okay. She told me now. That's what I'm saying. You're not helping the bad mood.
I don't do what
Burford.
you tell me to do.
You're not helping the bad mood. All right.
Morgan's on my side always.
Oh, yeah, because she's probably the one that put me in a bad mood.
I don't know that. I'm there to ask her that. I'm just saying it was fun to say.
Yeah, well, the last
I'm just trying to make you in a better mood, and it's just not working.
Last time we had dinner together, or lunch or whatever, it was dinner at B-Dubs. You and Morgan sat there at 8. I had to stand up. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, I had to give you my seat. I'm a gentleman.
Thank you for that.
I'm a gentleman. So let's listen. Let's talk about last week. Obviously, it was announced who was going to the NBA draft, who was coming back.
I'm excited about it.
There's still time for, like, Hero and Johnson were the two guys that still kind of left it up in the air. Johnson, I think, is more likely to stay in the draft, whereas Hero, a slight chance to come back. And I think Washington is a lock to stay in the draft.
He's definitely going to say, right? I mean, I don't even think he's saying on any type of media, I'm coming back.
No, exactly.
He's not even.
And then you've got also Hero, or Quickly and Higgins, who both said they were going to stay. Yeah, and I think Montgomery will stay.
We haven't heard a word from him yet, right?
Yeah, I mean, he could be drafted on potential, but I don't think we saw enough there to say this guy is going to be that kind of NBA player.
But you know who my favorite player is?
Hero.
Yeah. So in my heartstrings, I'm going to just say that he's testing the waters that they're allowed to do. They're allowed to get an agent.
Yeah.
Now, my sad point to that is what agent is ever going to say to them, oh, yeah, go on back to college.
Well,
because next year, you're going to be a star. Think about it. Next year, NBA draft, they're saying, is going to be the worst group of athletes ever.
Well,
ever.
Here's the thing. When you look at the draft, I mean, it's the top 8 to 12 guys, maybe the top 8 guys really could all be pretty good players.
So they considered lottery picks what? The top
13. Or 14.
14. I wasn't sure if it went to 15.
There's 30 teams in the NBA. Yes. There's 16 teams that make the playoff. The 14 teams that don't make the playoffs are considered the lottery
teams. Yeah. Okay, got it.
So
14 is that?
But I don't even think there's 14 players in this draft that can be considered legit NBA players. Now, obviously, you've got Zion, Cam Reddish, and the other kid from Duke, R.J. Barrett. You got those 3 guys are going to be legit NBA players. John Morant seems like he's going to be a legit NBA player as well.
Murray.
I'm pretty big. Excuse me.
Got all choked up talking about the Murray player.
I'm pretty big on Kobe White from North Carolina. I think he could be a really good NBA player. He's got the burst of speed.
Okay.
Shooting could be the only thing that kind of holds him back. Now, after that, there are some other guys. Michigan State had a couple.
Right.
But I mean, if you look at guys like from Virginia's team, DeAndre Hunter might be the best pro prospect, but their best players, Kyle Guy, Jerome, I don't see any of those guys being big NBA players. I don't know if any of those guys have decided to go or stay, but Virginia's got some guys that'll be coming back. The guy from Purdue, I forgot what his name was, that lit up the NCAA tournament.
Oh yeah. I don't. I'm terrible with names anyway.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with names.
He was a really good college player. I don't see him being a great NBA player. So it's just there's a lot of question marks for this NBA draft. Like I said, the top 8 or 9 players are very, very good, but after that is a huge drop-off. There's a lot of question marks, and I don't know who you can trust to be, those draft picks. But what that does is that creates the slight question mark for guys like Tyler Hero, Keldon Johnson. Can they be bigger names, and can they be higher draft picks because of all the question marks?
Right. Well, this morning, NBA, I guess the NBC Sports announced their NBA lottery draft picks, and of course, none of our guys were in the top 14.
Yeah.
So they're projecting that Keldon Johnson will go 17th to the Brooklyn Nets. They're saying Tyler Hero could possibly go 19th to the San Antonio Spurs. And then P.J. Washington would be our highest guy at 16th. And it could go to the Orlando Magic, which might be a good fit for him. I mean, we don't talk a lot about NBA, but he could add some depth to their
That's a team that could probably use a guy off the bench like P.J.
Nice power.
I think if a team that was a good team already, like the Spurs, or like I would love to see Boston get Tyler Hero. They need shooting off the bench.
That would be fun. Now, then I might like your Boston Celtics.
Yeah, there you go. See, but now,
if
Hero goes to a bad team, I don't know how good he can be, because Tyler is the kind of guy that if he has good players around him, he could be a better player. I don't think he could be like a Devin Booker who just goes out there and takes over games. But I think what we could see with Hero is him end up on a good team with good players around him, and him become a better player because of that.
That's interesting. I mean, I hadn't thought about that, because I'm not even thinking in that aspect, because I am selfish and wanting him to come back.
Yeah.
So for me, that's all I'm thinking about is like I'm sending out that mojo, like he's coming back. Because here's the thing: if he does go what they're predicting at 19th, they're all possibly going to sit on the bench. Or I mean, why do you want to be? I mean, we've not heard anything from Nick Richards either. So why would you want to be in the G League?
I think Richards and
E.J. Montgomery
are more likely to transfer than they are to go to the NBA.
Because
now I don't know if either one of them will.
Maxey coming in.
Oh, Maxey's a point guard.
Right. Well, true.
Yeah,
so that's makes me a little nervous for Higgins.
The only big guy we have coming in right now is the transfer.
Like Reed Travis helped get in. Yeah.
So that's the only guy we have right now that's going to be coming in. That's going to be a big guy. Now it is time for the Law Office of Patrick O'Neil Facebook poll. We'll have Austin pull up our Facebook poll for us, and it kind of goes into what we're talking about here. Who would you rather come back out of Hero and Johnson? Now we think Washington once again is a lock to stay.
Yes.
Johnson probably more likely to stay than what Hero would be if either one of them was forced.
Quickly's definitely coming back.
Quickly and Higgins both are coming back as well.
Definitely, they've said it.
But our question today is, for the Law Office of Patrick O'Neil Facebook poll, if you had to pick one player who made the decision last week to go pro or stay at Kentucky, who would you pick? And the votes are still piling up. But I don't know what Austin has on his poll right now, but we have 88% Tyler Hero, 12% Keldon Johnson that you would like to see come back to Kentucky next year.
Yeah.
And I think Keldon Johnson could be the better college player, but I think Hero fits Cal's system better.
Well, and here's the thing. Tyler Hero could be the face of UK athletics next year.
He really could.
I mean, kind of the way P.J. Washington did this season. He could be the face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he could be the face of NCAA basketball.
Yeah, he really could, because I don't know
look at who's going to be the star. We don't have a Zion next year.
As of right now.
Yeah. No big guy.
That's true. And with the guys that are going to be around Hero next year, he could be an even better player, because you're going to have some more athletic guys down low.
You're saying his stock is just going to rise if he comes back.
So, but look at it this way, okay?
So he's coming back.
And obviously, had he went to, I think Wisconsin was the other big name school that Hero was looking at. Mm-hmm. Had he went to Wisconsin, first of all, there is absolutely 0% chance he even has a shot at making this decision. Do I want to go pro or stay in college? And second of all,
you're saying that why? Because the chances are he would have done as well.
They're not,
and so he would have had to have stayed.
They're not as hyped.
Okay,
he didn't have as good of players around him, so his numbers might not have been as good.
Right.
And I don't know if he goes to Wisconsin, if he even gets as much playing time as he did at Kentucky, because Wisconsin is known for playing older players.
Yes.
So I don't know.
We don't have that.
No, exactly. So he was kind of forced into action. Obviously, he's a great player.
Did you watch any of his videos from high school?
Oh, he was a beast. He was a beast. He actually liked talking a little trash. I like that about him.
They were talking about that on the media, how he was not as friendly as what we're used to seeing him play at Kentucky. I think he had a little class, not class, like a sit-down class, like you can't be talking trash anymore.
Yeah.
You know. You need to watch your mouth.
I think he still talks a little trash at Kentucky. I mean, you don't say I'm a bucket and not mean it. You know, that guy, in his mind, he is a player.
He did say that, didn't he?
Well, our Facebook poll is brought to you by the Law Office of Patrick O'Neil. You can call Patrick if you need help with deeds and wills, workers' compensation, criminal defense cases, Social Security, SSI, and so much more. The phone number is 606-666-2990. Call today for a free consultation with the Law Office of Patrick O'Neil. And 88% of the voters said they would prefer to see Tyler Hero come back over Keldon Johnson at 12%.
You keep voting. Keep voting that.
Yeah, and that Facebook poll is currently over on the Facebook page on WBON TV. So you can scroll through, find the Facebook the Facebook poll, and vote up until, I think, Friday. So you got plenty of time to vote on that.
People proving that they agree with me more so than you.
What did I say?
Well, you've not been a big Hero fan.
No, but I mean, here's what I think about these two guys.
And you're liking
I'm about to throw my
Johnson.
iPad at her. I mean,
you're liking Johnson
I
more so
think
than Hero.
Johnson would be the better college player in any other system, but I think with Kentucky.
But we're not talking. He didn't go to any other system.
Oh, gosh. But, whew, Burford, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Listen.
It's a day.
It is a day. All this wind got your hair messed up and all.
It started out with the show, you first saying to me, I don't like your hair.
I woke up on the
today.
wrong side of the bed this morning, I think.
You did.
Yeah.
I have never said that to you. Michael, I don't like
I'm
your
always
hair
a sweetheart,
today.
aren't I?
I'm going to start saying it. The other day when I walked in, it looked like you hadn't even brushed your hair at work the other day. I was like...
Gosh, he is just... I mean, he's calling me out today.
Did you not call me out and say, I don't like your new hairstyle
I never said I
today?
didn't like it.
You did.
Did I say that? Well, I apologize.
You said, I don't really like your hair today.
I was saying...
What's the difference?
It's still pretty. I just don't like it as much as I normally do. There you go. That's what I was trying to say.
You're backing up. Beep. Beep.
We are live at Jack Burford Chevrolet, and
We're
if you
going to
want
back up one of these cars over
exactly.
here.
They've got some awesome. I'll tell you what.
We're watching them sell a car right here.
Yeah, the Malibu in front of us here, and I love these Silverados. You've got the bigger ones, the High Country, I think is the name of them.
They have 1,000
There's a ton
Silverados
of these big Silverados that are out here in front
I've
as well.
never seen so many Silverados.
Yeah, and
fantastic.
They've got different colors. I love this navy one right here in front of us. If I can get a shot of that.
I like the wheels.
Yeah, the wheels are nice too. You know,
pretty cool.
When you look at this, I probably couldn't drive a truck because I drive bad. I like to swerve in and out of traffic, so if I've got a bigger vehicle, it's a little bit harder
not you. You're a great driver, Michael.
I'm glad somebody thinks that. Nobody else does. Nobody. My mom, my dad, Morgan, even Reagan don't think I'm a good driver. So.
See? I'm being nice.
Yeah, according to Reagan, she said the wind was crazy last night.
Austin, I'm being nice, aren't I?
Do you think? Okay, so we're recording the show today because of the game tonight.
Yeah,
Madison Central, Madison Southern.
It is daytime.
The show will air after the game, and this game might not even happen because of the weather that's kind of
throwing you a little off
now.
schedule today, and then it's throwing you for a loop.
Yeah, it is. I was in my workflow this morning, had to break out and come up here and do the show. Now, obviously, we're always taken care of when we come here. It's just the fact that I'm not in my normal routine of recording or doing the show live like we normally do.
We usually do the show live, absolutely. But today it is recorded because we have a big game tonight.
Yeah.
So Central Southern baseball. So hoping that the rain holds out because it should be a great game. Southern, let's move right into that if you don't care.
We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about that, and we'll preview that game. We'll also announce our King Brothers Used Cars Player of the Week for last week. It is a big day here. We are live at Jack Burford, or not live. We are at Jack Burford Chevrolet. This is the Wallingford Sports Show.
At King Brothers Used Cars in Winchester, you don't have to worry about the hassles of dealing with an aggressive salesman. They strive to make you feel comfortable and help you find the car you're looking for at the best price possible. Stop by today and get your key and drive off in a new-to-you vehicle from King Brothers Used Cars on West Lexington Avenue in Winchester, or stop by their Facebook page for updates and their website, kingbrotherscars.com, to check out their inventory. King Brothers Used Cars, family-owned and time-tested since 1966.
Ponchels in Irvin is your year-round stop for Carhartt, Izod, Lee jeans, and boots. Prepare yourself for hunting with a huge selection of Carhartt bibs, coats, and other hunting gear. Don't forget about the big selection of hunting and work boots from Wolverine, Justin, Rocky, and more. As always, Honchels carries all the latest in Kentucky and Estill Engineer apparel and Skechers and New Balance for the little ones. The same great staff, same great personalized service always at Honchels on the Richmond Road in Irvin.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Escape to sports with Buffalo Wild Wings. GM Tommy Martin invites you to come watch your favorite team play at Buffalo Wild Wings, the best game day atmosphere and happy hour in town. Menu items as low as $2 each weekday 2 to 7 and again 10 till close. Plus wing specials every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to ask your server about the Blazing Rewards program and see how you can earn free food. Buffalo Wild Wings, Richmond Center.
We've got Kinetic Blue. We've got Cajun Red. We've got Storm Blue Metallic. We've got Mosaic Black Metallic. We've got Summit White. What are we talking about? Jack Burford Chevrolet Equinoxes. You can get up to $8,000 off on select Chevy Equinox models. Check them out at jackburford.com and be sure to subscribe to our Jack Burford Chevrolet YouTube channel too.
Jack Burford Chevrolet here on the Wallingford Sports Show. Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins, Austin Hanks, our producer today.
Sharing our post today.
Well, listen, Samantha, we have had a busy week, and this week, tonight, tomorrow, now we've got some big local baseball and softball games, and
Southern's on a roll too.
They are. Southern's playing very well right now. We're trying to get back into the flow. You know, we've had literally, so we've had, I think, 4 games get canceled thus far.
Yes.
And 3 of those were Madison County games.
Yes.
We had the Central Southern softball game. We had a Central baseball game get canceled.
Estill County.
And then we had
Estill Southern.
Estill Southern, exactly. So we've had a lot of games. Yeah. That was last week.
All on Mondays, it seems like, because we were going to redo the show and tape it like what we're doing today. Yeah. And, of course, we didn't have to because they ended up canceling all those games.
So it's been kind of hard for us to get back in the swing of things.
Hard for us?
Hard for me. Yeah.
I'm not going to give you a hard time on that because I don't have to do the baseball games.
Yeah, you get baseball and softball season off. So, where's this guy's pants, by the way? He's got shorts on.
He's got shorts on. It's chilly out today, yeah. College kids, they can do that.
Yeah.
He's buying a new Malibu.
Oh, it is a very nice Malibu.
It's a beautiful car.
Is it a 19?
Yeah, it's brand new.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice vehicle, the Chevy Malibu.
And there he goes.
You know, actually, one thing that I've always been a huge fan of Impalas. I actually bought my Equinox here at Jack Burford Chevrolet. But if I ever go back down to a car, those Malibus just continue to get nicer and nicer as the newer models come out.
All the technology on them and all the new features. And now, right now, the talk everywhere is, well, not only the Silverados, like what we talked about a second ago, but the new Blazers. So they're bringing it back.
The Trailblazer coming back, yeah.
They're bringing it back. So it's pretty fun.
Chevy Blazer now. It's not Trailblazer anymore,
right? It's not called a Trailblazer, just the Blazer. They shorten it, I guess, just like, you know, they shorten everything.
Well, I think it's kind of good to change your branding or whatever.
Show.
So.
We won't be called the Wallingford Sports Show.
Or we call it the Walling Sports Show or something.
SS.
The screenshot. Yeah. S
Sports
squared.
Show. Oh, there you go. S squared.
That would get really
fancy. Change the names. New graphics coming.
Well, you were talking about Madison Southern being on a roll. They have won 7 in a row.
Yes.
And continuing to impress. And they actually had a big game against Jackson County last week where it went into 8 innings. They came out on top of that one, 9-8. They knocked off Bourbon County 5-0. 8-4 win over Franklin County. So it's 7 in a row for Madison Southern heading into their game tonight, which is already over with.
That game's at what, 6 o'clock?
5:30.
5:30, so it starts a little sooner.
Yeah, so it's Madison Central, Madison Southern. That game, if you're watching the show, either took place today before the show or it is over with and they canceled it. So one of those two things has happened, and we have the sports show for you now. But
can you imagine playing baseball in the type of wind that we had yesterday?
No, I'm kind of worried myself about going to do the game in the cold.
Yeah, because it is chilly. Yeah. It was nice yesterday, very hot, 80s, and now we're right in the 30s.
The wind was crazy. 40s. The wind's not as bad today as it was yesterday.
No, that's for sure. So thank
a little bit better. If it was this cold and windy, it would be a very hard to play a baseball game.
And while we're talking baseball, before you go back into local, I got to give a shout out to UK baseball. Yeah. Just took down in a doubleheader at Ole Miss. 10th ranked in the nation. Did not go, but my daughter was there. She attends Ole Miss, and so she's a huge baseball fan. She goes to a lot of games. She was at the game, and I'm sure she was rooting for Ole Miss. But, of course, we were rooting for UK. It's a little conflicting because I want to root for both schools. So, yeah.
Do you ever, bet on who does the laundry if that team wins?
No, I don't bet. See where his mind goes every time. It's about betting.
Well, I mean, hey, it's going to be legal eventually, so you got to get prepared.
And I have proof where I won our bet.
Actually, you won our bet. I can't believe that. I can't live this down. You beat me
to lunch.
Morgan won the whole thing.
Yes.
So I can't live it down either way. So
no,
my wife won.
And at work.
The office pool. There were 10 of us at the office of Wallingford Media Group that participated in our office bracket. Pool. And my wife won the whole thing, and you got second.
Yes.
So both of you were the two winners.
Power.
And I was surprised. Morgan had like 96 points. You had, I think, 70-something. Yeah. And nobody else was even close after that.
Can't imagine.
So I was like in the 60s. But that's what happens, I guess, whenever you try. And Morgan actually, she did tell me that, I make sure to let everybody know, that she actually went through and studied free throw percentages and who played better defense on her way to figuring out who would win.
That's why she won.
Yeah.
I just learn from that.
I just watched a lot of games this year and knew that Duke was the best team in the country, so I thought Duke would win the whole thing.
I was with you.
And I was wrong.
I picked Duke to win the whole thing.
Yeah, so.
Still happy to look at the Virginia coach anytime he's on the media, though.
That was a pretty big deal for them to win.
It was a big deal. Cool. Yeah. And did you see, I mean, they just had a big old celebration. One of their players played the piano. It's pretty exciting.
And that's kind of cool to see different aspects of how these players are outside of, or off the court.
Off the court, that they have a real life outside of basketball. Boy, they sure will now. Wow. It's pretty exciting for them.
Well, let's talk about local baseball and softball. But as you said, the Eagles are currently on a 7-game winning streak.
Yes.
And it's the youngster Michael Bannister continuing to shine for Madison Southern. On the season, he is batting .447, and he leads the team in hits. He is second on the team in runs, and he's also had a pretty good defensive game as well, playing in that middle infield with Britton Robinson, who was a preseason, I think, All-American honorable mention. So pretty big deal for the Eagles to finally get them going, and their pitching has been very well. Cruz Newman right now with a 2.67 ERA. Britton Robinson with a 1.56 ERA. Hunter Buchanan with a 1.84 ERA. And these guys are pitching well. They're playing good defense. And now that Travis Fry has kind of got his kind of impact on the team, you can really see how well they are playing. And a big one tonight with Madison Central.
It will be a great game tonight because it's always a big rivalry. These kids have grown up playing little leagues together and all that good stuff. So it'll be a great game. 5:30 at Southern, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't do us any good to promote the game because the show's going to be on after the game. So.
Well, not if we talked about running the show before the game. We're not.
It'll probably have to be afterward. We might be able to run it before, but probably after. Yeah, about 9 o'clock tonight.
Who knows who's going to win?
Yeah. Do you have a prediction? I've not been able to do many baseball games thus far.
Right.
Don and Rick and Tom and everybody else kind of pitching in.
You've been busy.
Cutler has told me that he wants to do some too. So Alan and myself will probably get into it. We are going to be on the game tonight, Don and myself. But Cutler and I will probably get onto it next week.
Okay.
And then the week after, we will have no sports show.
I'm not invited.
But we have got a lot of baseball games that week. We got like 5 baseball, softball games that week. So we'll make that up to our sponsors as well, having them kind of being on the baseball game.
We need to have some coaches interviews or some, mid-season. I know it's tough because there's, let's see, Central's had a lot of games. They've been 12-5, but they've played down in Florida, and so they've had a few more games.
Well, Central is coming back from Florida. They are 4-1. Their only loss was to a very good Louisville male team.
Right.
They beat Frederick Douglass, Lafayette, PRP, and Corbin.
You're right.
So they played very well since coming back from their Florida trip. And tonight, Madison Southern again. They'll play Henry Clay on the road, and the Indians. Once they came back from that trip, you knew they were going to be getting it going, and they have shown that they can be a top team. Now, I talked to Coach Roof this morning. He was telling me some of the numbers from his team, and these guys have been playing very well. Huckel is batting .383, Ben Snap batting .434, Bryce Travage batting .273, DeMarco Foster batting .345, Simmons is batting .336. So a lot of these guys are hitting the ball well. Their pitching is still kind of what they're trying to figure out, but this Madison Central team will probably be in contention once again to be 11th region champs.
So you asked me a second ago who I'm going to go with in tonight's game. You want me to go first or you?
You go first. That's fine.
I'm going with Central.
Central, yeah. I think with it being at Southern,
I think their schedule's a little tougher.
Well, and in these games, most of the time you don't really throw your best pitcher.
Yeah.
Because you want to save that for the district tournament. I think tonight we'll see both teams probably throw their third best pitcher.
Third?
Yeah, okay. I think they'll probably throw out their third or fourth best pitcher.
It seems like they're changing pitchers a lot. Like they're only letting them a couple of innings.
It's different in high school and baseball and softball. In baseball, you're limited to, I think, maybe 120 pitches a week.
Right.
In softball, you can go out there and throw 500 and you're fine. I don't think they have it to where you can't throw. There's not a limit on how many pitches you can throw, because with the underhanded throw, the fast pitch is a little bit easier. It's not as rough on your arm, so they kind of limit you in baseball. So that's kind of one thing that we've seen. Now, as far as Estill County goes, the Engineers have been off to a very good start within the 14th region. They've had a couple of tough losses, but this team looks like they're probably going to be contending once again for a district championship, and depending on what matchup they get, they could once again compete for a regional championship. But the way this team plays, I think Estill County, with their pitching and their young lineup, that they can get it all together by the time the tournament rolls around. They last week lost 1-0 to a very good Perry County Central team. Rocky Hicks pitched in that game. They won 4-3 over Jackson County, and an easy win over Owsley County, 11-0. So I think Estill County, once the time that district and region rolls around, they will get it all figured out. But right now they're kind of up and down as far as the way their season goes. So.
Well, they're predicted to do well. I mean, early in the season they were.
Well, over there, it's always seems like it's Hazard and Perry County Central and basketball and baseball. Kind of the same thing this year. Now, Perry did lose Braxton Cottongame, who is playing at UK right now. And he's actually been pitching very well for the Wildcats. But they still have a lot of guys that were coming up through the system that are very good at baseball as well. Have you been to a baseball game this year?
I have not.
The weather's been pretty good thus far. I mean, other than the rainouts, when it's been pretty enough to have a game, the weather's been very nice. Now tonight,
are you talking EKU, Central Southern?
I'm not
even
Red. Any
Red just won too.
Yeah,
so
the Reds are playing very well.
Yeah, but we could not have said that 2 weeks ago. No.
We'll have Austin pull up our King Brothers Used Cars Player of the Week, and this week it is a young lady from Estill County who has led her team to a pretty good season thus far. Very impressive season and week it has been for Emma Winkle, who is our King Brothers Used Cars Player of the Week. Last week, Emma pitched in 2 outings for Estill County. She was pretty good at the plate as well. She hit .545 at the plate, including 3 doubles and 3 RBI, while dominating as a pitcher. Winkle started 2 games last week, won both games, and both of those ended in a mercy rule. She allowed only 3 earned runs and struck out 15 in her 2 outings. So congratulations to Emma Winkle, our King Brothers Used Cars Player of the Week. If you're looking for a great used cars, the staff at King Brothers is there to take care of you. Stop by King Brothers Used Cars in Winchester or visit kingbrotherscars.com to check out their complete inventory.
They're absolutely so nice. Family owned and operated. Extreme nice. We've done our show over there many times, and so we're excited to go back over there.
Once it warms back up in a couple of weeks, we'll probably be over there sometime in May or April or May or June to do the sports show, do a live remote, kind of brings people in. And, we really could not do this without all of our great sponsors. The Warlocks have had going on Facebook poll, and, they do a great job for us as well. Honchels, right now it's prom season. If you haven't been measured for your tux yet, make sure to stop by Honchels. They also have a lot of Izod shirts. Still got to wear that Izod when they go golfing. It's not golf season today, or not golf weather today. You should have worn a green
jacket today.
But if you are a big golf fan, stop by Honchels. And, a lot of guys like to buy a new shirt if they go to church for Easter Sunday.
True.
Honchels has a really good selection of the Easter colored shirts. So stop by there and check them out for that as well.
'Tis the season to wear white and pastels and refresh your wardrobe. So.
And luckily, I look good in all those colors. So.
You do.
Yeah, you got white on today.
I do. I had to bring the sweaters back out because it's so cold.
Yeah, I forgot my jacket.
But talking about our sponsors, a lot of people ask me, they're like, you do the show, you're a buffer, but you do the show at King Brothers. I'm like, absolutely. There's enough cars and people out there to buy cars all over the place. So we're excited to have sponsors no matter what. So
here at Jack Buffer, they've got a huge line of new vehicles. They got some used ones as well.
Yeah.
King Brothers has a lot of different vehicles. So
that's right.
They don't really sell the same type of car.
If you don't see something here you like, you may see something there and get online because I support both sponsors.
There
absolutely.
And we thank both of them for being a sponsor.
Absolutely.
As well as Honchels and Buffalo Wild Wings.
You have to get paid.
I do have to get paid. That's true. That's true. my big salary. So you like that?
I do.
Listen, when we come back,
NBA.
Normally, I'm a huge. I've been building up the NBA
for years,
for a long time.
It's taken years off my life.
I have not been as big of an NBA fan this year, But yesterday,
so we're not going to talk about it?
No, we are going to talk about it. Yesterday, they have brought it back for me.
It's playoff season.
And the Celtics played pretty well.
You're rejuvenated.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll talk about the NBA playoffs and look at somehow the UK guys are doing in the playoffs.
Especially
when we come back, we are live at Jack Burford Chevrolet. This is the Wallingford Sports Show.
At King Brothers Used Cars in Winchester, you don't have to worry about the hassles of dealing with an aggressive salesman. They strive to make you feel comfortable and help you find the car you're looking for at the best price possible. Stop by today and get your key and drive off in a new-to-you vehicle from King Brothers Used Cars on West Lexington Avenue in Winchester, or stop by their Facebook page for updates and their website, kingbrotherscars.com, to check out their inventory. King Brothers Used Cars, family-owned and time-tested since 1966.
Ponchos in Irvin is your year-round stop for Carhartt Eyeside Lee jeans and boots. Prepare yourself for hunting with a huge selection of Carhartt bibs, coats, and other hunting gear. Don't forget about the big selection of hunting and work boots from Wolverine, Justin, Rocky, and more. As always, Honchos carries all the latest in Kentucky and Estill Engineer apparel and Skechers and New Balance for the little ones. The same great staff, same great personalized service always at Honchos on the Richmond Road in Irvin.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Escape to sports with Buffalo Wild Wings. GM Tommy Martin invites you to come watch your favorite team play at Buffalo Wild Wings, the best game day atmosphere and happy hour in town. Menu items as low as $2 each weekday 2 to 7 and again 10 till close. Plus wing specials every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to ask your server about the Blazing Rewards program and see how you can earn free food. Buffalo Wild Wings, Richmond Center.
We've got Kinetic Blue. We've got Cajun Red. We've got Storm Blue Metallic. We've got Mosaic Black Metallic. We've got Summit White. What are we talking about? Jack Burford Chevrolet Equinoxes. You can get up to $8,000 off on select Chevy Equinox models. Check them out at jackburford.com and be sure to subscribe to our Jack Burford Chevrolet YouTube channel too.
Back at Jack Burford Chevrolet, this is the Wallingford Sports Show. Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins, and behind us is a beautiful Camaro, Samantha.
We'd look good in that.
Yeah, and I like that blue car. You can't really see it in the background, but that blue car in the back
That's
is
the Corvette.
absolutely. Oh.
They sold the other one. When we did the show in here the other day, they
had us. Listen, if I was in that driver's seat.
Austin, why can't we do a show inside the cars? Not enough lighting.
That would be kind of hard. Yeah.
Put Austin in the back, us up front.
We could drive it and do the show live. That would be kind of cool.
Now you're talking.
Yeah. You think
Austin,
John would care?
Come on. We got to get these things done.
You think John would care if we drove the car and talked on the show?
Yeah. He would. Okay, now, he might be okay if he drove it.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. We'd fight over the front seat.
Well, if I know John the way I think I do, he would want me in the front seat.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably right.
And you in the trunk.
Now, that sounds a little going downhill, folks.
Well, listen, we talked about the NBA playoffs.
They make those emergency buttons now, you know.
Yeah, that's good, though. That's probably good. I've seen way too many TV shows that end up with stuff like that.
Randy's not driving that white van anymore, so we're excited about that.
Yeah, the creeper van.
My kids call it the candy creeper van.
Well, we have went off topic once again, but listen. Yeah. Yesterday or Saturday, the NBA playoffs started, and we've not talked about it as much this year because
I won't let you.
Well, and I've just not been a huge NBA fan. Normally, I don't care. I'm such a diehard NBA fan that I get it in there eventually.
Because you now have a child, so all your attention when you go home goes to that instead
I don't watch games as much
of watching games.
Yeah, but now
you probably still bet on them though.
I did watch. Did yesterday. It did pretty good yesterday.
So you really haven't been, but you are starting to now that they're in the playoffs.
Exactly. And you know,
more fun.
And you can there's not a lot of craziness that happens in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday, just for example, the over/under for the Boston Celtics game was like 213 or 212.5. The final score was 84-74. That
That's
went
low.
way under.
That's like a SEC game.
It really is. So
like
that's like
Alabama,
a college game.
Mississippi.
So it's really weird as far as a betting aspect goes. As far as the NBA season goes, the over-unders were crazy this year because there was so much scoring in the NBA that a lot of the over-under lines went over during the entire season. In the playoffs thus far, through every first-round game went under the total.
Okay.
So kind of an interesting little tie-in there.
That is.
Now Vegas will have to regroup and probably lower a lot of these over-unders because of the defense that's being played and the pressure of the situation. You know, you have to win.
But
And
a lot of the players are back. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
it's
the ones
back
that
from
have
injury.
been injured
Yeah.
are back. You know,
well, and that
Cousins.
could be.
No, can't call him Boogie anymore. He's saying he doesn't want to be called Boogie.
He's more
in some
mature
interview.
now.
Yeah,
He's more mature in his
stock
old
is
age.
rising. He can't be called Boogie anymore.
But I will say this about the games from this week. They were fun to watch. Now, there was some upsets. You had the 76ers and the Raptors both lose.
Yeah.
And even though the Trailblazers are the higher seed, I think a lot of people picked the Thunder to win that series. And the San Antonio Spurs, who are the 7th seed in the Western Conference, knocked off Denver.
Still going
in
for
game
Warriors.
1. Yeah, you know, I
always
don't.
bet on the Warriors.
The way it looks.
Actually, if you
two
want to
best
win money, you probably shouldn't bet on the Warriors.
No, the Warriors have the
I don't
most odds to win, so you
Right.
have to risk more to win more.
Right. So it's probably not good. Not
but
safe.
if you looked at just all the first games, the two best teams look like the two number 1 overall seeds in East Conference, the Warriors and the Bucks. The Bucks knocked off the Pistons 121-86 in a game that wasn't even close. It seemed like it was a 25-point margin the entire way through, and then the Warriors, of course, knocked off the Clippers 21-1 or 121-104, and that game really wasn't close throughout. So I think the two best teams in each conference will probably win out, but I think each team will also. The Warriors and the Bucks will face their toughest competition in round 2. Most likely, the Warriors would have to face the Rockets probably, whereas the Bucks would have to face the Celtics.
And James Harden's still on his roll. Is he still hitting 30 points every game?
He fell off
or has
that
he
mark.
broke off that record?
He broke off that record in the
Okay.
regular season, but he's still, I mean, he was amazing yesterday. They knocked off the Jazz by 32
Would
points.
you want to be on his team? I mean, it would be fun, but you never get the ball.
Well, he had,
or just throw him
he
the
had
ball.
10 assists last night. I mean, he's getting his teammates involved.
Right.
But what he does is he attracts so much attention that it allows other guys to get open.
Yeah.
But in that system, you pretty much have to be a shooter because that's what
the
that system
Rockets
is.
play.
You drive and shoot for threes. So you have to be a shooter to play in that system. I think that the biggest competition for either the Warriors or the Bucks will be those two teams. I think Boston.
The Thunder?
I think the Rockets could give the competition to the Warriors with Harden and their defense and their shooting ability. And I think Boston's defense, the way they played yesterday, could give the Bucks the biggest competition in the Eastern Conference. So if it's not Warriors-Bucks, I believe that either the Rockets or the Celtics will make it into the NBA Finals.
So the NBA Finals is in June.
Yeah, I mean,
So
the
we got a
NBA
whole
Finals,
nother
the NBA playoffs is a long process.
It
It's
is.
like a 2-month process.
Yeah. How many games, like these games are playing now, what?
Well, you have basically every
4?
other night, and Boston will not play again until Wednesday night, so there's like 3 nights in between for their games.
Yeah.
So it's really about, you know, who can get your guys healthy over a night or two stretch. You know, like the Raptors this season, they sat Kawhi Leonard a lot just to get him ready for the playoffs. Joel Embiid for the 76ers. You know, Cousins and Draymond Green and Kevin Durant, they've kind of been nicked up. So has
he
Steph
just
Curry
got
for the
kicked out of the
Warriors.
game. Like, he got a double technical foul. Like,
listen, Kevin Durant.
that's exciting for me, though.
Don't even get me started on that.
As long as it's not the
I
Wildcats.
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like,
but, you know,
that was
Kevin
like
Durant.
early on. You don't like him?
I
No.
did. Not as much now.
Yeah.
Not as much now. But here's my prediction. I think it'll be Warriors-Celtics in the NBA Finals. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Celtics fan. I think Boston has got it fixed. They looked really good yesterday. And on defense is where they'll make their money. I think it'll be Golden State and Boston in the NBA Finals. I think the Warriors once again win. I think they are just too good. And I think Kevin Durant does leave. So we'll see what happens there.
Boston's been playing some pretty good defense, from
They
what
have
I
been,
understand.
yeah. And they're a good
That's what I'm
defensive team.
reading.
They've got
on
a
all the
lot of
sports
really good
pages.
individual defensive players.
Yeah.
So that's if they can play
How
that
about
kind of
injuries?
defense. Marcus Smart is their best defensive player. He's out until probably round 3. So if they make it there, they'll get him back. But I think him coming back could actually hurt them because of the way they played yesterday without him. they have a lot of depth at the wing position, so kind of having him not there kind of opens up playing time for other guys. So I think him not being there actually kind of helps them by also hurting them. It's kind of weird, but that's kind of how it looks.
So we got to talk about Cantor. We got to talk about some
some of the
UK guys. I said his first name wrong.
Enes Cantor. You said Estes. It's all right. I mean,
who names their kid that?
I guess people from Turkey do.
They do.
What is?
So I'll just call him Cantor. I don't know.
Yeah, he had a big day. He had a double-double,
Warrior
20
of
points, 18
basketball.
rebounds.
I don't know.
Played pretty well. Eric Bledsoe is playing pretty well for the Bucks right now. Those are really the only two Kentucky guys that are playing in the playoffs. You know, John Wall was hurt. Anthony Davis had the big debacle. Cousins not really getting the amount of touches to make a big impact for the Warriors, even though he, if called upon, he could probably put up some big numbers there. Those are probably the three main guys. Obviously, for the Thunder, you have three guys. You've got Patterson and Diallo, who haven't played much, and then you've got Nerlens Noel, who came off the bench, had a pretty good night for him the other night. For the Nuggets, you've got a couple of UK players. You've got Jamal Murray, who
we all love him.
Had pretty good.
Recent player.
I would have loved to have seen the Celtics draft him.
He's the arrow guy.
When he came out, Murray had 17 points in the first game for the Nuggets, and also Jared Vanderbilt and Trey Lyles are also on the Nuggets team.
What about
Shai
Gilgeous-Alexander?
I tell you what, Shai is going to be a very good NBA player.
He just got 18 points.
When he came out of the draft or into the draft, I was suspect about him.
Yeah.
He showed glimpses at Kentucky, but I thought he was one of those guys that could have used another year.
He could have gone either way too. But going into the NBA, you're thinking he's probably not going to do too well.
He's a very good defensive player though too. He's so long and he's developed a shot. I mean, he's a guy that could be a really good. I would say in 2 more years he will be a potential all-star in the NBA, depending on how good the Clippers are.
This was his first playoff game.
Yeah, and he played very well against the Warriors. I mean, so on a grand stage, he played well.
Yeah.
Well,
Still
Samantha,
excited about Cousins.
It has been a fun show. We have obviously here at Jack Burford Chevrolet. You can see some of the nice vehicles behind us. This Camaro, they got the Corvette over there. A ton of awesome Silverados here. The High Country, which is, if I was going to pick a vehicle to, like, if I was a guy that had a lot
won the lottery.
Well, if you work, like if you use your truck for work or for hauling stuff, that High Country is a legit working
the Silverado.
truck.
And my Traverse is a High Country, so it's more than just a Silverado. You can get the special package. It's like my husband, he treats me right. I got the loaded vehicle.
And if you need more details as to what...
We'll spoil.
If you need more details as to what the High Country is, you can check out the website, jackburford.com.
It's the top end.
Or stop over here and ask these guys. I mean, all these guys are experts about Chevys. Don't talk to Randy Rosenbaum. He can't help you out much, but everybody else over here can.
Listen, I turn my car on and the air-conditioned seats pop on. Like it's a feature that it just pops on, and it's like, oh, this is pretty cool. And it will feel great.
Hashtag spoiled. There you go.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny that.
For you as well?
No, but I won't deny it.
There you go. We are live at Jack Burford Chevrolet. For everybody that listened and watched tonight, thank you all for being a part of the show. Next Monday.
Did you give your pick on who's going to win the game?
I don't like making picks. I'm calling the game.
So you made me do it.
I didn't make it. You offered.
You asked me.
I said, do you have a pick? And you gave one.
So now I'm asking you.
Yeah, I don't have one. So I call the games. I don't like to pick.
Are you calling tonight's game?
Yeah, I'll be there tonight. Okay. So me and Don will be there. Tomorrow, Don and Rick will have the GRC Southern game, so they'll be there for that one. And it's fun. We're getting back in the swing of things with high school baseball and softball. We'll have a couple of really busy weeks for us coming up, so stay tuned for that. You can check on WBON TV's website for the complete schedule.
And here's what's funny is I don't even think we're on air right now because these three over here are like waving at the camera. They're waving. So keep talking baseball.
Right. Well, listen, for Samantha and for myself, Michael Watkins, for our producer, Austin Hanks, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. This has been the Wallingford Sports Show.
At King Brothers Used Cars in Winchester, you don't have to worry about the hassles of dealing with an aggressive salesman. They strive to make you feel comfortable and help you find the car you're looking for at the best price possible. Stop by today and get your key and drive off in a new-to-you vehicle from King Brothers Used Cars on Lexington Avenue in Winchester, or stop by their Facebook page for updates and their website kingbrotherscars.com to check out their inventory. King Brothers Used Cars, family owned and time tested since 1966.
Honchels in Irvin is your year-round stop for Carhartt Izod Lee jeans and boots. Prepare yourself for hunting with a huge selection of Carhartt bibs, coats, and other hunting gear. Don't forget about the big selection of hunting and work boots from Wolverine, Justin, Rocky, and more. As always, Honchels carries all the latest in Kentucky and Estill Engineer apparel and Skechers and New Balance for the little ones. The same great staff, same great personalized service always at Honchels on the Richmond Road in Irvin.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Escape to sports with Buffalo Wild Wings. GM Tommy Martin invites you to come watch your favorite team play at Buffalo Wild Wings, the best game day atmosphere and happy hour in town. Menu items as low as $2 each weekday 2 to 7 and again 10 till close. Plus wing specials every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to ask your server about the Blazing Rewards program and see how you can earn free food. Buffalo Wild Wings, Richmond Center.
We've got Kinetic Blue. We've got Cajun Red. We've got Storm Blue Metallic. We've got Mosaic Black Metallic. We've got Summit White. What are we talking about? Jack Burford Chevrolet Equinoxes. You can get up to $8,000 off on select Chevy Equinox models. Check them out at jackburford.com and be sure to subscribe to our Jack Burford Chevrolet YouTube channel too.